Meat prices surge. Real-world inflation. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your cup or stein of coffee. Let's have a look at this news.com.au article written by Jason Murphy about the most important topic that I will be covering, surely for the entire year. So, price hike coming to an Aussie supermarket as meat prices surge. Now, we are a very high meat-eating family. We try and do the carnivore diet, and, you know, aside from having a pizza party with the kids because I got my bass in early, I try and stick to it. Rachel is doing really well on it. It's really good for her. One interesting thing that we've discovered, and this is completely off topic, but whenever she would get pregnant, Rachel's teeth would start to crumble. Back before we had this diet, her teeth would crumble. She had to have an emergency root canal done once because her teeth would crack and fall apart every time she got pregnant because her body was sucking out all the nutrients from wherever it could get, and she was just on a normal diet. Now, carnivore, no problems at all. None at all. That was just quite a dramatic thing, and I thought it was quite funny because there's another YouTuber I watch, another Aussie, and he's a vegan, and he's complaining about his kids having to go to the dentist and getting all these cavities. Don't seem to get it as much because you're not eating as much sugar if you're just eating meat. So, yeah, we're big fans of the carnivore diet. We buy our meat in bulk. There's actually a video here on the channel you can find where Rachel is showing you how she unpacks it. And that's a really cost-effective way to get your meat, and you can be quite particular with how you want your cattle. You know, you can get a grass-finished, pasture-raised, hormone-free cow if you want. You'll pay a bit extra for it. But then you can just demolish all the arguments about animal cruelty because, well, you're putting your money where your ethics are. And that's what we do. At the moment now, because we're demolishing part of our house and I'm about to get the power disconnected and we're living in a tiny little place up the road, we're just living off store-bought meat. We're noticing the cost of it is much more expensive. So I'm about to set up because the studio is going to keep running when we're working on the house, I'm about to set up the freezer and everything here so we can at least buy a forequarter or a hindquarter of a beast. So that's the thing. If we're seeing inflation in meat, and if it's going to go up, and it's a staple, and it heals, it's good for your health. Look up MeatRx, look up low carb down under if you don't believe me. There's lots of doctors there that are using it to cure a lot of illnesses. It's quite shocking, really, when you're first exposed to it. In some ways, it's a red pill to people to realize that a lot of the government health guidelines about eating are all complete and utter BS. I would say that's a doorway into being skeptical about everything that the state puts in front of you and not believing all the lies. But nevertheless, buying in bulk, even if prices are going up, that could be a way you can save money, even if you get together with the neighbors and friends. This is something we have to start considering now, guys, because recession's coming, times are getting tough. Okay, so, hold the Barbie Australia. Woolworths CEO is warning of meat price inflation in 2021, with beef in particular likely to cost more. And beef is pretty bloody good, guys. We do expect to see continued meat price increases, Woolworths CEO Brad Banussi said last week as he warned of volatile price movements across the world of groceries. The big reason for pricey meat? Rain. The drought broke in 2020 in most of the country, and it turns out that when the paddocks of Australia are lush and full of grass, beef farmers decide to keep their animals. Instead of packing them onto trucks, they let the cattle grow, expanding their herds. Veal gets a chance to turn into beef. Very good. I mean, I was talking to one of the CEO of the Gold Pass token and app there, and he even had cattle. There's an engineer at QS, I know, he grew up in the country. He owns cattle. He just runs cattle as an investment. So let me know in the comments, guys, how you get into that, because honestly, that I'd like to get into it. A lot of cattle are being kept on the land, he said. Our next chart shows it's a pretty good time to be a cow in Australia. Your chances of meeting your maker have been lowered a lot. Oh, it's nothing wrong. We all got to die, And you can watch YouTube videos that are not propaganda. I think the glass window looking at the actual slaughtering process. And there was an autistic lady who quite understands just the thinking of cows and influences the design of these abattoirs to make it a more peaceful process for the slaughtering of the animals. And that has architectural implications. We learned all about this in architectural school back before I was on the normal diet. So it's quite fascinating. These are videos that are just quite sensible, normal. I showed them to my 6-year-old daughter at the time. She wasn't scared, so she could understand the reality of these things. Because you have a lot of nutters will just tell you, BS as their teeth fall out. According to the ABS, the number of cows being killed is down 24%, and the amount of beef being produced is 18% less. The cattle being sent to the abattoir are bigger because they're giving longer to get big. Fantastic. And really, we want higher fat cows too. You don't want them bred lean. You want to up your fat intake in your diet. Anything that can stop us from going to this dystopian, horrific future where we're all eating this Beyond Meat garbage. Have you ever looked at the fake meats? Just look at the back of the package. And if there's going to be one thing you remove from your diet, you try wholeheartedly to remove from your diet, would be seed oil. Everyone, look at how they actually make these vegetable oils. It is not natural at all. We don't have any. And I was frustrated, actually, just recently, because I ran out of chain bar oil for my chainsaw. Because we were, clearing trees and shrubs and everything, and I ran out of bar oil. You can use vegetable oil for it, guys. That's what it was originally invented for. And we're eating it all the time, and we're wondering why we're getting all these health issues. But seriously, just get it out of your diet, guys. If that's that and sugar, they're the two things you don't need. And remember, they've only been around for like 100 years. Seed oils. We haven't evolved with them. They're not natural. Not like olive oil. You can get a piece of timber and you can make it. Thousands of years. You need a 4-part factory process. Anyway, improved seasonal conditions in southern Australia throughout 2020 and above average rain in northern Australia during the 2021 wet season are expected to produce an abundance of pasture in all major cattle producing regions. With the exception of parts of WA, Meat and Livestock Australia wrote in their 2021 Industrial Projections Report. The forecast fall in calf slaughter for 2021 is 7%, reinforcing that the herd is entering a rebuilding phase and indicating producers will hold onto calves that would otherwise have been turned off as vealers. However, the report hints that when those cattle are ready to turn into meat, they could go offshore. Exports are expected to rebound in 2021 as world economies recover from the pandemic. Okay, so do we need to buy some beef futures, guys? How do we invest in money? Is there any listed big cattle producers here in Australia? Let me know in the comments. I'm getting hungry. The lush paddocks are full of future steak and future meat pies. For now, that lack of supply means beef could cost more. See, this is the thing. You look at meat pies, most of them don't have, they're like, half of them are wheat, or even sausages you buy, like the barbecue sausages at Woolies. They're like half potatoes. It's all, you got to start making it yourself. Abundant rain is not all bad news, of course. Grain for grain-fed beef is costing less, which is good news if you like Wagyu, and because of excellent growing conditions, fruit and veg are entering what the Woolworths CEO calls a more deflationary period, if you can get people to pick it. That means lower prices in the fruit and veg section. Turns out that the expected labour shortages on farms weren't enough to reduce supply of fruit and veg. In fruit, we've managed to offset deflation with increased demand, he said. But that's not so in vegetables. And the big rains could continue to mean cheap fruit and veg into 2021. We're expecting very large crops, for example, on the fruit side, in avocados across the country, including New Zealand. Avocados Australia's CEO, John Tays, confirmed we should expect lots of locally grown smashed av this year, with lots of Aussie avocado orchards straining under the weight of their fruit. I remember we used to live near a local fruit place when I was a student, and you could get avocados for 50 cents. Avocado, toast, Vegemite, and some vinegar. That was fantastic. It's all you needed. Wouldn't eat it now, but still, I enjoyed it. If you're going to eat fruit, at least avo's got some advantages to it. There should be plenty of Australian avocados available in 2021, he said. Per capita, Australians are the highest avocado consumers in the English-speaking world, devouring 3.88 kilos per person per year. Holy guacamole, 2021 could be the year of the nachos, just as long as you don't want beef nachos. Oh, Jason, we need that beef, mate. We need that beef. So, I mean, there we have it, guys. Potential inflation in the beef market. You know, this is real-world inflation that's going to impact a lot of people. Now, I would suggest, rather than switching to less healthier carbohydrate-based replacement foods or cheaper ones, you know, particularly seed oil rubbish, buying it in bulk. Buying it in bulk. Go to your butcher, talk to him. Can I get a forequarter? Can I get a hindquarter? Then you'll get everything, even get the bones, and then boil down the bones to get tallow. You know, and then you can use that to cook with. It's really good. It's good for you. What do you reckon, guys? Are you worried? Are you starting to see this increase in cost of meat? Let us know in the comments down below. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you're looking for a butcher, we get ours from the Rockley meat markets. They tend to be pretty good. You know, tell them Florian sent you, although the people I know, they're all gone, so it won't matter. Anyway, guys, have a great day. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links from Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. You can join MeetRx to help us get training sessions, or SelfWealth so we both get free share trades. That's it. Finally, you can support us using PayPal. Take care, have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.